Yeah, good evening, everyone. Maz okay here. I'm sorry that this is a very late night broadcast, and I have to do this broadcast because I've already scheduled to do this broadcast. It was actually scheduled to be with the victims of what is happening in Anambra State unreported. And in the last couple of days, many of you must have been seeing what is happening, where the special anti-robbery squad team called SARs, meant to protect lives and property, are the ones basically killing those that they ought to protect. On Twitter, we've seen these videos being shared, and you ask yourself, and how can this be happening in a society where we have governance? If you actually remember, it brings to mind, I think, about 2010, if my memory serves me right, about 2000 and no, about 2012, I think 2012, 13. There was a time, many of you, if you Google Ezu River, you would Ezu River massacre basically, and you will see that was actually in 2000. Um, 2013. Okay, so that was when we saw corpses floating on the Ezu River. That was during the time of the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, and eventually Inter Society, an Onitsha-based human rights group led by my good friend and brother Emeko Mabalasi, they made their investigations, and sadly, it came to the knowledge that the SARs in Awkuzu were those behind those bodies. Now, but we cannot continue. Now, this is in 2013, that innocent men, because everyone is innocent until proven guilty, that innocent men taken to the police custody were shot and killed. I mean, that is unacceptable that something like that should be happening in this modern day and time. So, as that happened then, now one now will begin to wonder why then, or what then is happening this as we speak today. It appears that whatever we knew, or whatever we knew that happened in 2000, and
that is unacceptable.
Whatever like we knew that happened in 2013 hasn't stopped. It is still happening. I mean, I can't, it feels so sad to know that this is still happening in my own state, because this is not anything but just to think that your state is where young men, some of them, their crime is that they have dreadlocks. And someone just stops them, and that's it. Ask them to pay money. If they cannot afford to pay any amounts they've been told, you know, you will be obviously be deleted. No, that no society runs in that way. It's one. This is one of those things that I will need your help. We need to start campaigning on this. This nonsense must stop, because if you for 1 second think this thing does not concern you, it might get to you. It might get too close to you. I have today spoken to one family from Umpo, and they have narrated a story that is chilling. Sadly, the woman just rang me before I came online saying that she cannot join me in this evening's broadcast, that she wants to move it to Tuesday. That means you must have a date with me on Tuesday, because we want to hear chilling stories. And the one that breaks my heart the most is that the son in question is still not yet found. Stories abound to what these SARS do. Some people say that they will ask you to bring 2 million if you don't bring 2 million to be as a bond for your release, and that's it. And sometimes people confess, people say that their crime or their worst crime, that the crime of their children, why they were arrested, was because they had dreadlocks, or because they had their ESPS, or because they looked at them and said, "Well, you are Yahoo Yahoo." I mean, come on. In this modern time, you can't just call somebody Yahoo Yahoo and that's it. And therefore, without any crime being committed, even if a crime is committed, even if, and I'm saying this, even if a crime is committed, and so what? Okay, here we are. I would share this. I will share this with us. This is obviously my Twitter page where I have gone, and I'm looking at this here. Hold on, let me bring this out. Okay, I'm looking at my Twitter page here now, because we need to understand what is happening, people. This is my Twitter page. I was just trying to understand, look into this. Then you listen to this. You listen, and these are human beings. Listen, these are people's sons. Some of you that understand Igbo would know what these young chaps are singing. These are your fellow countrymen and women. Their crime is that they are citizens of this contraption, that they are citizens of this nation where injustice has become norm. This is happening in the southeast Nigeria, in Anambra State, that these children are becoming, just being hunted this way. Now, look at this. You can see on this, you can see so many videos on that, even to the point today, Amnesty International, because SARS is the issue now trending. Amnesty International Nigeria has said, Amnesty International Nigeria wrote to the Inspector General of Police IGP on 3 occasions between November 2018 and August 2019, asking for steps the police took to investigate the allegation against SARS Awkuzu, but received no response. And SARS in Awkuzu has become a law unto themselves. SARS Awkuzu. This thing is coming out in light of an allegation that was made online. Someone saying, pointing out to one James Nwafo, a police officer, and they said he is a killer. I mean, here we can begin to let these things, here we can begin to let these things basically go viral, because there is no other way we can fix the society if we don't speak about this. Now, I wanted to bring someone in. Just give me a sec. Let me see if I can get this individual to join me. Hold on. Copy. Let me see. Just hold on. Sorry about that. Let me just quickly see if I can. Sorry. Okay. So now, obviously, this, whatever is happening in Anambra State and whatever is happening regarding SARS is unbelievable. You just type in SARS Awkuzu. Awkuzu, the SARS office in Awkuzu appears to be a different world. It's a law unto themselves. And the sad part now, it appears that people use them to settle scores. You cannot just go arrest people. just take them to SARs, and the person disappears. I read one story here on Twitter. I don't if I can find the story. And you know, the stories are so chilling. You shoot someone and ask the family to pay 4.1 million. They couldn't, but sadly, one of those individuals, one of the young chaps, died because he was shot on the leg. Was accused of cultism. Shot on the leg. And the other two that witnessed it were also deleted. And you know, there is no sanctity of human life, and people think we shouldn't get angry. Why shouldn't we get angry? Because this, I mean, it's this young man today. It could be you watching me now. It could be me tomorrow. Just like during the time of Hitler, they came to arrest the Jews and take the Jews away. Everybody kept quiet. They came for the professors, everybody kept quiet. They came for the priest, everybody kept quiet until there was no single person left to speak for you. We cannot allow something like this to continue because this is obviously unacceptable. Amnesty International here, look at it from their website, from their Twitter handle today, tweeted because this is now ongoing. No one cares. And here I have Bismarck said that the police, Commissioner of Police, James Mwafo, and incidentally, this is an Igbo person, James Mwafo, an Igbo man, killing his own people for what? Just because of money. And the government and those that he serves appears to do nothing. Here we are, okay, that's actually Henry Shield. I believe Henry will join me any moment from now in this studio. And that's, I mean, this is unbelievable and heartbreaking. Even the Human Rights Commission, Nigeria retweet, just says alleged torture and murder by the same one reoccurring decimal, James Mwafo. The attention was brought to a painful report by a Twitter user, and this is the Twitter here. This is the man in question. How long, he says, however, as long as I live, this man must answer for my brother's whereabouts one day. He must answer, and the day I will, and it will be soon. And I promise you that we will dedicate this channel to fight for this injustice, to make sure that justice is served to this family. Because people can continue, losing their lives. Again, this man is saying that Anambra state government is doing nothing. And again, where is Obiano? Where is the chief security officer of a state here? CP, and the sad part is that this CP James Mwafo is actually on Twitter, because that's what made this thing start going viral, because this guy is on Twitter and he's been accused. He's been accused. And see the lady here, Obianuju. When I first read the story, I thought, whoa, what is this girl talking about? And the story is so chilling. I've reached out to her. There's no response from her yet. Now, because she started this by saying that today, that was 2 days ago, that she found out that the Commissioner of Police, James Mwafo, the man responsible for the disappearance, you can actually say for the deleting, because if your brother was or rather been taken for that long, I just pray that your brother, that our collective effort will make your brother to come back. Because this is absolutely insane. No nation runs in this way. No nation runs in this way. Yeah? How can you be protecting a person that everybody's been complaining? This man is deleting people with reckless abandon. And the family is accusing him that he claimed that nothing can happen to him. He was responsible for dumping, again, for that Ezu River that I mentioned at the beginning. They said that they We are responsible for dumping over those bodies of, and those bodies then were mostly from Masop, those agitating for Biafra. That's Masop, before IPOB eventually came to the limelight. And this madness cannot continue. Maybe social media wasn't that vast then, but here we are with the power of social media. We must keep this in the front burner. We must begin to hold people to account. These are fellow human beings, and they couldn't, you know, I can't, I can't get myself, to, because this is very painful. Not only one story. I'm glad that this is that the National Human Rights Commission of Nigeria is now involved and is taking this matter up. But hey, this matter must remain. Again, the same man, James Nwafo of Awkuzu, of SARS unit Awkuzu, illegally abducted Chijioke on the 29th of November 20. Apparently, these could be the victims. These could be those victims of Ezu River. Again, another person. People, how can, and I keep asking myself, how come everyone in Onitsha knew about the SARS, knew about the atrocities, but it appeared no one was speaking up from Onitsha until the recent accusation? Everyone now started speaking. Now, look at this. In 2016, when I was in SS3, I was arrested and detained at Awkuzu SARS. While coming back from school, boarding school, they said I was a cultist. How can there were about 14 of there were about 14 of us who were arrested. I still were in my school uniform on the arrival at the station. So how can you arrest a young chap who is coming back from school? And here you have the police. This is what they do, and this is what they know how to do best. Again, 50 naira from a bike man, and thank God someone was recording it. Obviously, this cannot happen. I have done many recordings, where when they start picking money, sometimes I do the recordings, but you ask yourself, they don't bloody care. Even when you bring up the camera, they don't care as long as you give them money. But here is this man called James Nwafo, the man responsible for the disappearance and possible death. And this lady says in the tweet, because when I first read this tweet really got me. Obianuju, Ada Mommy, as she called herself, this tweet really got me. Now, because he said the man claimed that nothing can happen to him. He was responsible for dumping over 100 bodies of young men in Ezu River at the border of Enugu and Anambra State in 2012. Had my father swimming in a river filled with dead bodies to see if he can find his son. The plight of a father who could not find his word, who could not find his son, had to go to Ezu River to swim, dive to see if he can, amongst dead bodies, to see if he can. People, just wait for one moment. Think about it. Because you couldn't find your son, you go into a river, you dive, you're swimming, dead bodies. You're just trying to find your own son because there is no help. This is a place where we don't have divers. How can the police even have divers? How can they even help, whereas they are the culprits? Whereas they were the ones that murdered the individuals. And the lady is tweeting, where is Chijioke? The same man, according to Obianuju, said, this man denied ever arresting my brother. And while my parents were leaving his office, they saw him being led, and my parents identified him immediately. This man ordered that my parents be pushed out of his compound. Why lie? You arrested somebody, The parents came. You deny you didn't arrest him. While they were about to leave, they saw the same son that they came for being led out. The next day, this animal tells them point blank that he had killed my brother and they should do their worst. My mom collapsed immediately and was rushed to hospital. The scam started from there. A lot of people told us he was bluffing and that they should bring money. And this family sold lands to pay for his release, and he kept upping the amounts. We went to the Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, who said his hands were tied. Tied by who? This is a fellow human being, someone's son, and you just wasted the individual that way. The few people that ever left that cell said they saw my brother. We don't know how true. We are willing to pay anything, but this animal frustrated us. The human rights guys we met in Anambra maybe work with him. I don't know. Scammed us too. See, scam everywhere. Even human rights as well. Human rights groups as well, according to her report. However, as long as Obianuju now vowed that as long as she lives, this man must answer for the brother's whereabouts. One day he must answer, and the day will be soon. Obianuju, I thank you for this tweet because it means what we will start doing is we will document order and make it openly. I will start with the case on Tuesday, the one that I was meant to have today that didn't join me. We've moved it to Tuesday. If you're watching me, if you're one of the victims, please get to me. You can get to Injinja Media with Injinja Media, at gmail.com, or you can personally send me email. I can get to you, which is maziezoke at gmail.com. Or you can, go on Twitter and type in maziezoke with double A and inbox me. I will respond. If you want and if you're willing to come online and share your story and want the world to know the injustice that the SARs has done to you, I am willing to, because that is the only way you and I can have a better society. We cannot run away. It's the reason why evil prevail is because good men keep quiet. It's no longer possible that we'll keep quiet. No, we have to fight this evil head on. We need to fight this evil head on. There is no way. There is no way. And while we are doing that, we must as well hold the Anambra State governor in accountable, because had he listened to these things, had he called these people to order or started a commission of inquiry, then these things probably wouldn't be happening. But here we are, citizens are losing their lives on a daily basis, and we are here arguing. Yeah? Citizens, the people you swore an oath to protect, are losing their lives every single day. There is no justification for such level of barbarism that we have witnessed and that we see every single day. So if you want to make any contribution to this topic, you can, call the number there on WhatsApp. That's only on WhatsApp line only. Then you can. But while I look at this, again, you see, that is from Obianuju. I want us to see something happening. That is from Obianuju. Now, my brother-in-law is presently in there, and I had written, Sage link, and he told me to direct my complaint to Citizen Gather. That is, these are two people always, on ground and trying to help people. But this is another person. So it's not something that is made up. These are individuals, these are people that don't know themselves from the other. But they keep making sure that these things come up, that they report these things. Okay? People keep making, people keep talking about these things. And that is the reason, that is even more reason why you should come up. Because don't sit down there watching me thinking, no, it's never going to happen to you. Until we reform the system that you shouldn't even rough handle anyone, even if, let's just for the sake of argument without considering, even if that person committed a crime, even if that person committed a crime. Now, because after that yesterday, some of us tagged the police complaints. Now, police complaint now, because obviously you can tag them, but because you don't know the details, you are not the one filing that complaint. But because there were a lot of people since yesterday bombarding the police complaints commission. Now, the police complaints again on Twitter now says your complaint is hereby acknowledged and investigation has been initiated. Your tracking number is now. Any of you who want to follow, you can always keep this tracking number, because what we will be doing over time is to contact them and say, what is the update on this tracking number? What are you going to do? Sadly, in all these things, here is a Governor Willie Obiano says is Akpokwedike. What is his own role in all this? He's not providing the leadership. He's not providing the governance that he ought to provide for the state. The governor of my state, it's unbelievable. Okay, look, again, even the guy in question, look, who advised Governor Obiano to appoint the beast that should be jailed for life as SSA? I see, he's been retired now. Now he committed all these atrocities. Now he's now within the government. This is the more reason why these things should now take, everyone should be more involved now. Again, another one, Emeko Okoye. He says, this is really sad to hear. My dad went through the torture chamber at Awkuzu, SARs, in 2015. He was hung to a ceiling fan. A bitch, his Sienna car never came back with him till date. Even a court order granting him 10 million damages wasn't honored. Now, this is the court judgment here. Huh? The court judgment sitting in Otuacha. Look at it now. Look at the court judgment here. So these men and women are law unto themselves. These men and women are law unto themselves. Look at the court judgment here. So the court judgment is here. It's not like, people didn't. So it's, again, this fight must be multidimensional. We hit them from the media, the lawyers get involved, the human rights get involved. You and I must lend our voices, because when the moment we think it doesn't concern us, then it wouldn't, the atrocity will continue. And this is the man being questioned. And that is what you see everywhere on Twitter. Huh? There's this one said, these men at Awkuzu SARS are so heartless, mean, and wicked. Every single one of them has to be brought to book. Again, that is what it means. Because this madness cannot continue this way unabated. People, this is insanity. We cannot live in a society where our lives means nothing to them. We cannot live in such society. That society means nothing, absolutely, where you don't have sanctity of life. People will just lose their lives because someone is so intoxicated with power, because you've given them a gun that was bought by your own tax, the tax you pay. You've given them that gun and they're using that same gun to oppress you. We cannot have a society that runs in this way. And it is our duty, our collective duty, to basically ensure that these things stop and that they stop now. On that note, I will leave that and say keep a date with me on Tuesday where the victims will come live here and we'll discuss it. Tomorrow by 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., join me in my interview with Nweke, Ikenna Nweke, the Nigerian in Japan who found huge sums of money and returned it to the Japanese authority. I remain yours truly, Mazezoke. I believe that tomorrow we will, if everything stays well, we will find time to basically um, make sure that these topics are treated. At this moment, thank you very much for joining me. I remain Mazezoke, signing out.